Hello, it's Gareth here. I hope you're well. So in this video I want to talk about dealing with things that stress you out. It's one thing that's very, it's in the news a lot these days. It's very obvious that there's a lot more issues with mental health these days. And people stressing and worrying about things and it causing them to be in great distress. And you would kind of think, we live in a modern world and we've got all these mod cons and all these kind of things to make our life easier, but yet we still have a great deal of mental torment and stress, and for a lot of people that turns into mental health issues and just having a life which feels very, very, very unhappy at times. And I think it's natural that you're going to have things come up in your life that are difficult to deal with. That's part of life. But actually there's a lot more stuff in your life that you worry about that probably is unnecessary, because you're worrying about things that might happen, or in some cases you're regretting what happened in the past. One thing that I remember learning a few years ago when I first started to kind of get into personal development was the idea of controlling the controllables. What can you control in your life? What things can you affect and make a difference to? And if you can, then you should. But if there's things going on that are out of your control, if there are things worrying you and stressing you that you can't affect, you've got to really change your attitude towards what you're focusing on. If you put the news on these days, you can put that news on. If you're somebody that's a bit susceptible to feeling down or worrying, reading some of the news reports can make you worry terribly. And what can you do? Can you affect what's happening in Ukraine and the war across there? Can you affect what's happening in the elections in whatever country you're in? And in America, I have some people I know in America, and some of those people are absolutely distraught. Donald Trump's in power, they're scared, and there's other people that are really happy. So, the same result but two different outcomes. It all depends what you're focusing on. So if you're focusing on things you can't control and things that make you worry, you've got to change your focus. If you're worrying about something you can do something about and you can control, then you should change things that need to be changed and do what needs to be done. So focusing on controlling the controllables is a way for you to feel more in control of what's going on in your life. And I think a lot of my experience of my own sort of issues with mental health and when I felt down, it was because I felt I was out of control. I had no control over the situation. But very quickly when I rehashed it and looked at it, a lot of things that were causing me concern I couldn't do anything about, but there were some things that I could affect. I could affect my own health. I could affect what I focused on. I could affect learning new skills and getting more information and knowledge that would help me. If I something came up that I worried about, I could learn how to overcome that worry through knowledge and education. So I suppose what I'm here to say is, if you are somebody that does suffer from mental health issues, in many cases because we are focusing on and worrying about things that are either going to happen in the future or there's some things that have happened in the past. So if something's from the future you're worried about, can you prepare better for it? Can you do something to avoid that thing you're worrying about? As in, can you do something to stop it happening? If you're going into the past, yes, we should learn from the past, very, very powerful tool, but we don't live there. So mental health is one of those things we have to learn how to manage it ourselves. For me personally, staying in shape physically helps me stay in shape mentally. So if you do struggle with your mental health, maybe try that. But I really would consider now not worrying about things you can't control, and the things that you can control those. So control the controllables, basically, is what I want to say from this. I think it will help you tremendously, especially if you're susceptible to worries and you have issues with feeling like everything's getting on top of you a little bit. Give controlling the controllables a go and give doing some kind of physical exercise to boost your body, boost your endorphins and make you feel good. There you go. I just shared that with you in today's little video. I will see you tomorrow for another video. Until then, take care.